Friends, it's that time of year again. It's chocolate frosty smoothie bowl season. Look at that deliciousness. As always, recipe on my blog, MissFitAndNerdy.com. The weather has finally started to be consistently warm. It finally started to consistently be smoothie weather. So I'm bringing her back, the chocolate frosty smoothie bowl. For those of you who are new around here, this is one of my favorite go-to breakfasts when the temperatures are right for it, because it's packed full of vegetables. The frozen cubes that I put in here are a combo of steamed and then frozen sweet potatoes, zucchini, cauliflower, and a little bit of goat yogurt. So it's packed with vegetables, fiber, nutrients, got some probiotics in there from the yogurt. I added a protein powder to get some protein. I used homemade almond and cashew milk, and I also added in some, I think, hemp seeds were in here, so I got some good healthy fats from that. And it tastes like a chocolate frosty, like so good. So today and tomorrow, I'm kind of going to be planning out my next 3 weeks of my health and fitness life, because in 3 weeks, I'm going on a mother-daughter trip with my mom to Greece for 2 weeks. It's gonna be great. Which I feel like, and I mean, I guess this is just life, and this is pretty much everyone's life, so all y'all are gonna get it. But I feel like lately I've just been like getting super on track with things, getting super on point, and then something happens where I will need to shift and reevaluate and restructure. And that's getting a wee bit annoying, but alas, what are you gonna do? Such is life. I do feel like even within the shifts and transitions, I've found some amount of like groundedness. So like even as I have been shifting, like I told you guys a couple weeks ago, like I was just going through a lot, scaled back on exercise a lot. I was also putting less effort into my nutrition to kind of take the stress level off there. But even within that, I didn't feel like I was derailed. I felt like I was just shifting and adapting to life circumstances. And so I've been feeling relatively good about my fitness journey overall. I am just craving personally more consistency and stability. So I think once I get back from my trip with my mom, I will hopefully be able to implement some of that. But for now, the goal is just to kind of think about the next 3 weeks, what I want to accomplish health and fitness wise, and how I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna be sitting down and kind of thinking about my workout structure, what my diet is gonna look like. You guys know I don't like meal prep, but like what I want to get when I go to the grocery store tomorrow, and just planning it so that things are a little bit more planned. Also, in my last video, I updated you guys on my skin and my running journey, and since that last video, there have been updates in both categories, so I'll touch on that later. But for now, I'm gonna finish this before it melts, because really the joy is in being able to scoop it out while it's still thick before it melts, and then I have to use the straw, so I'm gonna try to scoop. Anyway, today is mostly just like a get work done, entrepreneur-y kind of day, just working on building holistic fitness labs into something that is sustainable and scalable and, you know, like an actual fully fledged business that's profitable. But I have 15-20 minutes until I need to leave for the chiropractor, so I figured now was a good time to kind of sit down and figure out what I want my workout structure to look like for the next 3 weeks. So I actually, very excitingly, just this weekend did the Animal Flow Level 1 workshop, and so I spent 14 hours playing on the floor, essentially, learning the technicalities of Animal Flow. You guys have been seeing me do it in my videos for a couple years now, and I absolutely love it, but I don't have any formal training in it. I did learn it from someone who has gone through the formal training, but I have not, and I knew there were gaps in my knowledge, and I wanted to learn everything, and also I thought it'd be cool to be a certified Animal Flow instructor. I have not tested out yet, because I literally just finished the course. I have to do like a whole video submission and stuff like that to get the actual certification, but I am working on that. So in the next 30 to 90 days, I will be an official Level 1 Animal Flow certified instructor. Very exciting, but the goal is mostly to just learn it for myself. So all this is to say that, first of all, I'm very sore. I don't plan on training today. I can barely like lift my arms right now. My palms killing me because I've just been putting so much weight on them for the last 2 days, as I've just been literally like putting them on the floor and like doing all the different cool things. But also that means that for the next 3 weeks, I want to be really kind of refining the skills that I learned in the last 2 days of the workshop. And so that's something that I want to emphasize in my workout program. So I think I'd love to spend like 1 to 2 hours a week on Animal Flow. So I'm gonna put that into my program. And then, as you guys know, I'm working on my running. I might as well give you the exciting update now because it's not a very long update. I ran 4 miles. 4 miles for the first time last week, a couple days ago, and it actually didn't feel atrocious. And I am very proud of myself, but I was running like an 11:30 mile, so it took me like 45 minutes. And so if I'm gonna be running 3 days a week, which since I'm working on my running and I do want to eventually at some point be able to get to run 10 miles, I'm almost halfway there. We're doing good. When it comes to running, I'm gonna do one long run, so that'll be probably the whole workout for the day, and then 2 shorter runs. So by that, I think I'm kind of just thinking like half an hour or less, so that if I want to do something after, it's not like I just ran for an hour and then I'm doing another hour of something else. You know, I can do like a half-hour run and then half an hour of animal flow, and that'll be the full 1 hour workout. So 2 sub 30-minute runs. That formatting is strange, but I know what it means. You guys know what it means. That's all that matters. And then I don't want to stop lifting. I want to be able to at least maintain some amount of muscle mass. So resistance training. I mean, ideally I'd want to do 3 days a week just for frequency's sake. And I think doing like 30 minutes 3 days a week would be more than sufficient. My only concern here now is that I'm doing way too much for the week. So I'm gonna try to parse this out and see how I can divide it so that I'm not overtraining. So I'm gonna divide this out by days. I'm gonna give myself 1 entirely rest day. I would normally advocate for 2 rest days, especially if you're doing more intense movement during your workouts, but the animal flow stuff, depending on what I'm doing, might end up just being like super low key movement. And same with the runs, like since it's much more chill movement, I don't think my body's gonna need 2 whole rest days. If I were lifting for an hour every day, like I wouldn't do that 6 days a week. But let's just like program this in and see where this ends up. So I'm just gonna randomly put these things on days and then kind of puzzle it together. So long run will be day 1. Let's just call that like 4+ miles. That's just kind of gonna be like the target, the goal. If it's not that, it's fine. Like that's just the thought in my head. And then another day, again, this is in no order. I probably wouldn't just run 3 days in a row, but we're gonna do short run, another day, short run. Okay, so I have all my running in there. Now I'm gonna put in resistance training, 30 minutes. We're gonna do that 3 days. This is actually looking super doable now that I'm looking at it. Like I could just do 10 to 30 minutes of animal flow on my not rest day and not long run day, and I'll be good to go. And I can get higher frequency, which I think right now is the goal. Since I'm really learning the skill, I'd rather do it more frequently and just not do as much of it. Like I think to be teaching my brain and my body how to do the movement, frequency is gonna be king. So I'm just gonna do animal flow for 10 to 30 minutes and put that in. Is this crazy? How is this working out so well? I think this makes a lot of sense. And now we're just gonna alternate instead of doing like run 3 days in a row and then resistance training. So we're gonna do long run, resistance training, animal flow, short run, animal flow, resistance training, animal flow, short run, animal flow, resistance training, animal flow, rest. Is this crazy? Does this make sense? I feel like this makes a lot of sense to me. And I like that this gives me the flexibility to keep some of my workouts shorter, because I told you guys when I was doing my own program, 35 Thrive, I was doing half an hour of training every day, and that felt really good. That felt super sustainable. A lot of the times it was just super easy to just walk out of my house, grab some weights, do like half an hour of resistance training, and then go back to what I was doing. And so with this, first of all, I can program the resistance training to all be stuff that I can do at home, which I'll probably do. Animal flow can all be done at home. You don't have to do it in a gym, although doing it out on the concrete might hurt a little bit. But if I'm only doing like 20 minutes, my hands will be fine. They'll get used to it. I can do it on the grass if I have to. But where I was going with this is that on my short run days, that could end up being like 30 minutes total. Because if I just go for like a 20-minute run and then I do animal flow for 10 minutes, like if that's all I have time for that day, then I can make that work. So if I know I'm gonna have a super busy Wednesday, I could swap 2 of the days and just do like the short run animal flow day, make it a 30-minute workout on my busy day. All of these workouts except for the long run can essentially be shortened to be efficient workouts that only last half an hour. But if I'm feeling good, if I want to do more, I can make them an hour. This is great. This is fantastic. This turned out a lot better than I even thought it would. I thought I was gonna have a really hard time figuring out how to do 3 different modalities of exercise with the frequency that I want to be doing them at. But I think the trick is just to let go of feeling the need to do something for a certain amount of time. Like Marissa 4 years ago would not have dreamed of lifting for less than an hour once I started lifting. Like, to me, if I wasn't doing a full hour of lifting, it wasn't like a resistance training workout. And I don't think that was because like I felt like I wasn't worthy of doing the workout. If I wasn't doing it for an hour, it's just like that's just always what I saw. And like all of the workout programs that I bought and did from other people, they were all like workouts that took like an hour. So in my head, like that's just what it was. But at this point right now, with where I am with my fitness journey and stuff, is really wanting to explore movement. I think for the majority of my fitness journey, I have sought feeling powerful and strong, which nothing wrong with that. Like that's fantastic. But as someone who has less mobility, less flexibility, like I really struggle in those areas. While I feel super strong and powerful in the gym, movement doesn't feel, I really want to say yummy again. The word is just stuck in my head as a way of describing movement because that's how my animal flow instructor was describing certain movements, but it really is like, it's like, I don't know, it's like a juicy steak. Like it's something that you can like sink your teeth into. Aside from yumminess of movement, my goals for fitness are to just kind of be more well-rounded in my movement, hence wanting to incorporate more animal flow. I would love to take like a pole dancing class. In fact, I might do that soon. I want to do more yoga. I want to get better at handstands. And I've been saying this for a while, but my journey has just kind of been so all over the place that I haven't been able to kind of like settle in to a thing and work towards it for an extended period of time. And I think once I get back from my trip, I am going to have that opportunity. And to be fair, I have been working more towards well-roundedness because I have now been running for months now and I can run 4 miles. So I'm doing pretty good, if I may say so myself. But I'm super excited about this. I actually have to run to my chiropractor appointment because it's in 17 minutes and it takes me 15 to get there and I need to change my pants. So my chiropractor session was fantastic, felt amazing. Something that I realized as I was doing my exercises after is that during the animal flow workshop, I'm pretty sure I had much better spinal mobility than when I've done animal flow before, because I haven't really done it since before I started with the chiropractor. And some moves and things were like a little bit difficult for me and I knew it was like a lack of mobility, but reflecting on the workshop, all those things that were difficult for me before didn't feel like I didn't have like sticky points in my movement where I felt like I did before. And I think I just have like much better spinal mobility thanks to the chiropractic work and the exercises that I've been doing through the chiropractor, which is very exciting. But I also stayed after I finished my exercises tonight because there was a like breathwork meditation biocharger thing, which the biocharger is, I don't know, it's a little bit woo-woo, but in theory, it modulates the energy around it, which of course we are all energy. Energy affects energy. Electrons affect electrons. So in theory, does something to energy in your cells. But either way, figured a little bit of meditation and breath work can't hurt. So I stayed for that and that was actually really interesting. I feel like before I started therapy, it would not have hit the same. But now I've been in therapy, I've been doing the internal work, sitting there in a meditation, in a breathwork practice, just the part come out to play. And so it's a very different and cool experience. By parts, I mean I've been doing parts work in therapy, so like the different parts of myself, I can access them through meditation. So that was really cool, but I am starving because it is very late. It's not very late, it's 7:30 and my chocolate frosty smoothie bowl does have quite a few calories, so I had a decently big breakfast, but it's definitely dinner time. So I actually just Postmated myself a burger because I am craving red meat right now. Don't know why, just feel like it. And I'm also just as a whole very hungry, probably because the last 2 days I was in a 7-hour workshop 2 days in a row, and so I've been very active, so I need some food. So the burger is on its way home, I am on my way home, it's gonna be good. I figured I would give you guys the little skin update as I am fresh-faced out of the shower. My skin as a whole is doing so much better than when I filmed my last video and told you guys that it was really not doing well. And I feel like I'm giving this update prematurely because honestly, there's so many times where my skin will like start to get better and then it'll get worse. And it's really just yo-yoed back and forth like that for the last 3 years. So am I really like actually hopeful that this is the turning point and everything's getting better? I'd like to be. I think I've maintained a lot of that hope, and I think that's why it took me so long to actually want to focus on my skin, because every time it started getting better, I was just like, this is it, it's getting better, it's gonna be fine, and then it would get worse again, and I'd be like, it's fine, it's gonna get better, and it just never actually stayed better. So part of me is just holding on to like blind hope and faith. But there is part of me that has some idea as to why my skin might be getting better right now. And if I'm right, it's gonna keep getting better and it's gonna stay better. Maybe not like super consistently, but as a whole, I have a feeling. But I could also just be entirely wrong, and this could just be a coincidence that my skin is actually feeling good enough to the point where when I wake up in the morning, I don't immediately feel the need to just douse all of my skin in lotion because it's so dry. It's more like, oh, you know what, lotion seems like it would feel nice, but it's not like an absolute necessity. And I've just been getting some of the elasticity and stuff back, and the redness is going away as well. Like my skin tone overall is looking a lot better. It's still not great. Like my fingers are still, I mean, this is good news, you can't really tell, but like this hand is just not looking as good as this one. Things are still cracking, flaking, bleeding. It's fine, but it's trending better. That's the update. So I promise I will share answers when I have answers. Just wanted to give that update. Good morning. It's actually not morning. It's afternoon. I've had my coffee. I'm about to have a Rebel protein. Too lazy to make my chocolate frosty smoothie bowl today. Too much going on. Too much to do. Just gonna have one of these right now. But I just sat down to plan out my next few days or so-ish of eating, so I figured I would kind of walk you through what I'm thinking and how I go about planning this, my thought process, etc. In the meantime, I'm out here in my hammock with my cat, giving her some outside time. Say hi, Cleo. No. Okay. I really want to prioritize protein, and I really want to prioritize healthy fat. The goal is to cook from home as much as possible, stop eating out so much, just kind of get back into the rhythm of things and make it easier to kind of just live the lifestyle that I want to live. And so that said, I am sitting down to kind of think through what I want for breakfast and dinner for the next few days, however much of it I can meal prep. I usually can't prep more than like 3 or 4 days worth of food at a time, just because I eat so much. That amount of food just does not fit in the pan. Like if I were to cook like 6 days worth of chicken, I would need like 2 pans to do that. That's not happening. So I do have my chocolate frosty smoothie bowl prepped. I have another couple days worth of that, and I have some homemade almond milk that I should probably get through and use to make the chocolate frosty smoothie bowl. So honestly, I'm probably set for a few days when it comes to breakfast, which I literally just realized. Like the whole point in sitting down was to think about what I was gonna go to the grocery store to get for breakfast and dinner. But that's nice. I don't have to think about breakfast for a few days. I do think I only have about 3 days worth of the smoothie bowl left though, but I also kind of want to change it up a little bit, you know? I'm really tempted to just prep what I showed you guys a couple videos ago, the like Southwestern breakfast protein bowl that I made, which was, what was even in it? Chicken, black beans, sweet potato, bacon, a soft-boiled egg, avocado, and greens, I think. That sounds good. I think I'm gonna just do that again, because I know what I'm doing. It's super easy to prep. I basically just have to slow cooker the chicken, boil some eggs, cook some bacon, throw it all together, and I'm good to go. That's the plan. And then dinner-wise, I was just scrolling through Pinterest, and just for some inspo, because it would be super easy to just do another dinner with chicken, so just prep like a ton of chicken so I have it for breakfast and dinner. But a recipe on Pinterest caught my eye with salmon, and I think I want to make salmon bowls. So now that I have the general idea of what I want, I'm gonna go ahead and plug it all into MyFitnessPal and just kind of see where that gets me as far as macros go, essentially. I'm not meal planning in the sense that I'm gonna plan out my every calorie. I'm just planning out my breakfast and dinner and leaving space for like snacks and dessert and a morning latte if I so choose, although I think I might try to phase that out pretty soon. But I know I always say that and it always comes back, so we'll see. But I just want to get an assessment of like where this gets me protein wise, because if I were to add a snack, if I were to add dessert, that's probably not going to be very protein heavy. And so I essentially just want to make sure that between breakfast and dinner, I'm close to covered as far as protein goes. Okay, so I put everything into MyFitnessPal, and the first thing I noticed was a lack of vegetables. I have the sweet potato for breakfast, and I did end up adding the kale, so that kind of gives me a good amount of vegetables and fiber for breakfast. But with the dinner, like I just started with salmon, rice, and cucumber, and I was like, first of all, I need more than that. It needs to be a little bit more fun than that. So I added some green onion, avocado, and then I was like just scrolling on Pinterest for salmon bowl ideas. A lot of people have like a cabbage sauce, like cabbage with carrots and other cabbage and stuff, and I feel like that would just be a good, like nice crunchy base for the salmon bowl. Ooh, this person has edamame. God, all of these salmon bowls look so good. I'm very excited about this. I hope I can find some like good quality salmon at the store. That's like one of the reasons I don't eat a lot of fish, is it's just hard to source good quality fish. So this brings me to, oh my god, I'm at 101 grams of protein between breakfast and dinner. For breakfast, I put in 6 ounces of chicken, and for dinner I did 6 ounces of salmon, just for reference. And then between that, the beans, and the little bits of other protein that are in other foods got to 101 grams of protein. So like, I am set on protein. Interestingly, only 43 grams of fat. Ooh, I forgot the cheese in my breakfast. I can add cheese to the breakfast. That'll add some fat. Do some raw goat milk cheddar, if I can find it, hopefully. Oh, not an entire ounce of it though. That would be like all cheese. Okay, I mean, honestly, I am not mad about this. Okay, so pardon my screen being destroyed, but this is what I got for breakfast, and then this is what I got for dinner, and honestly I am not mad about this. Overall, this is where I'm at with macros, which gives me a lot of flexibility to like add in, you know, a fun beverage for breakfast, some dessert, some snacks if I'm hungry in the middle of the day, whatever I'm doing. So I think this will be a really great like base, and that's kind of how I like to prep when I'm in kind of this state. I don't have like a specific goal where I'm like, I'm trying to hit this number of calories, like this amount of macros. I'm just trying to get like a decent amount of protein, which I think 100 to like 110 grams of protein is great for me, especially now that I'm going to be bumping up my activity level. And so I'm essentially making sure that in this base of my breakfast and my dinner, I am hitting my nutrition goals. So getting enough protein, getting enough vegetables and fiber, getting in some good healthy fats, and then pretty much everything else in my day can kind of just be filler, and I can basically eat whatever I want, because I will know that no matter what I eat, I'm still hitting my goals for like the amount of various nutrition that I want to consume for the day. Pro tip, if you are someone who's working towards intuitive eating, if you've been tracking for like a really long time and are having trouble kind of just making that shift from tracking to not tracking and just eating, this is a really good middle ground step, because it allows you to still track and make sure you're covering your bases. But I think between my breakfast and dinner, I was only at like 1,200 calories, which clearly not enough for an adult human, even though I'm a very small human. Like, I'm going to have to eat more. I am going to be hungry for more than just the breakfast and dinner. But because I've already tracked the breakfast and dinner, and I know I'm like roughly on track for where I want to be, it allows me to just kind of do whatever for everything else and just fill in the gaps more intuitively. So it gives you kind of like a playground to dip into intuitive eating while still covering your bases. Now I'm just gonna take these recipes, turn it into a grocery list, and then I will go grocery shopping later, get all the things, start prepping tonight. But tonight I actually have plans with a friend, so I will not be cooking myself any of this to eat tonight. I will start eating it tomorrow. Okay, finally done with meetings for the day, so it's time to go to the grocery store. I'm bringing an apple because I have an apple and I want a snack and I don't want my apple to go bad. And I also need to hydrate, so I'm gonna fill this with some Organifi Pure and just a dash of my current liquid electrolyte. And my plan is, once I get back from the grocery store, do a little baby leg workout. Nothing crazy, because I am still sore from my Animal Flow workshop. But I just want to get like a little bit of activity in today. Okay, groceries accomplished. I literally have to leave to go meet my friend in like 20 minutes. So I'm gonna get in like a 15-minute workout, change really quick, and then get in the car. So I'm probably just gonna do like 2 to 3 sets of 2 to 3 exercises and just leave it at that. So without further ado, let's go. Was that the shortest, most efficient workout ever? Probably. Well, maybe not most efficient, but shortest workout ever? Maybe. But I'm glad I got a little something in. I am going to head off to my friend's house, so I think I'm gonna wrap the video up here. But before you go, please leave Greece travel tips down in the comments below. Going to Athens and Santorini. Let me know everything that I gotta know. Places I should go, things I should do, anything that's helpful. And in the meantime, if you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does support me and my channel. I really genuinely appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, your gym buddies. If you want to see more content from me all about health and fitness, you can check it out over here. To see future videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a video, and I will see you very soon. Bye.